Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of 1990s Represent. We're wrapping up our second cycle in 1996. I'm doing that with a computer game this time. And this episode, we're talking about Duke Nukem 3D. Absolutely love this game. Played the heck out of this game back in. I didn't play it right in 1996. I got it in 1997, but absolutely just played a ton of it that year. I have some notes here about the game, and then, of course, like we do with all the game videos, we're going to do some gameplay as well. Before we get into that, though, I have here my original copy from 1996, even though, like I said, I picked up in 97, CD and booklet as well. I don't know if I have the manual still that actually has, like, it actually had screenshots from Duke Nukem Forever, which took forever to come out, basically. It's got the kind of the infamous picture of the like prospector going like that or whatever it was doing. That was like, I think that maybe like was like a later reissue, because like I said, I picked my copy up like a year later, and I vividly remember that artwork being in like one of the manuals somewhere where it was saying like Duke Nukem Forever coming soon or something like that. But have the original CD still. We'll be playing in the video. We'll be playing the Megaton edition that's on Steam. And I want to say this game was free for a while. Like, I think 3D Realms put it up on freeware. Like, I remember like it being included in a lot of like just like, hey, like this game is now free, but now I think you can pick it up on Steam, because that was kind of before Steam was a thing. But have some notes here about it, so we're gonna go through those, and then we'll get into our gameplay here. So first released, some weird release schedules for this. So first released January 29th, 1996. However, that was for the shareware version. Over the next few months, they released various different versions of the shareware release. And the full game, all the levels and all that, released April 19th, 1996. Like I said earlier, I picked this game up at, like, I want to say I got it at an outlet store that had like some computer software. Over like in I think it's like the Silverthorne like outlets, so like that's where I picked it up. But picked it up in 1997 and absolutely just had a blast with it. Basically that entire summer, all the way into the fall. Just played a ton of it. Let me see what else I have here. Played basically like through like the entire summer with the game. Messed around with the level editor. I think it was Build 3D was what it was called. And Build 3D, these level editors have always been kind of confusing for me, but I think Build 3D was like the one I was like the most competent in using. Even though I wasn't very competent with it, it definitely felt like I was able to at least like create like a full level, unlike more recent level editors for like Unreal Tournament and stuff like that, which I just completely not very good at using those like at all. But Build 3D was cool because I remember like building a few levels in that. Like I remember creating like a bar or a nightclub level at one point. I found like a lot of really cool tutorials online on how to use the build software. So like almost like every day after school for like that fall, I was like, all right, like how do I implement this? How do I put a door in a level? How do I like make this thing like trigger a scripted event, that kind of stuff. So got pretty good at that for a while, and I think a lot of the other 3D Realms games around this time period used that same engine. Like I think Shadow Warrior for sure used it, and I think Blood also used it as well. I actually picked up the HD, not HD, like whatever the remastered version of Blood is. So don't know if we'll do that in the next cycle in 1997, but in 1997 we'll definitely get to Blood at some point in this series. In a future cycle. Maybe this one, probably not, because I think I might be doing a different game. But picked up that bundle. It was a humble bundle that had like Blood, Turok, a lot of the really good like remasters. I forget the company that, I think it might be like Night Dive Studios, and they do a lot of really good kind of like upscaling and remastering of some great like first-person shooters. I think like that bundle included Rise of the Triad, Blood, like Turok 1, 2, and 3, and some other games as well. But had a ton of fun with doing that. Actually even got into some of the total conversions for Duke Nukem 3D. I remember installing like a Vietnam Vietnam total conversion for the game, which is a lot of fun. Basically, just changed out all the weapons to be kind of Vietnam War era. So you had like AK-47s and M16s and like flamethrowers, and all the levels were like Vietnam War inspired. It was really cool. It was a really cool total conversion. And I remember at one point there was a group of people that were, I don't know how far along it got, or even if it was like even like released, but they were talking about a Star Wars total conversion at one point where they were just like going to basically kind of make it like almost like maybe like Dark Forces, like because I think Dark Force like by the time this game came out, the first Dark Forces had been out for a while, but I don't think Dark Forces 2 was out quite yet because like I said, I was playing it over 1997. And I was following along the development of that total conversion, but I don't think it ever even got released. I think they were like still like looking for people to work on it. And I vaguely remember like sending an email being like, hey, like I can like help with this by like doing like it was like maybe like getting sound effects from like the movies or like doing textures and like image editing software. I don't like I said I never heard back from any of that, so I don't even know if that development got even off the ground. But a Duke Nukem, the Star Wars total conversion, just seemed something that was like really cool because I remember downloading a level. Don't think it was a level by the same people, but it was a like a Cloud City level that was really cool. There was another one which was like a level. It had like basically a really cool implemented version in Build 3D of an ATST. It didn't move around, but it basically like they had done the geometry to be an ATST from Star Wars and it had like a gun on it and stuff like that. There was just a ton of cool levels. I remember like downloading just tons and tons of maps for this game as well. So ton of fun of that. Apparently the budget on this was a $300,000 budget with a fairly small team. They wanted the game to be not necessarily more realistic, but have more realistic locations. Like the first level takes place in Hollywood, for example, so they like take place in like various places you would probably see like in the real world. Like there's a level, like the first level like has like a movie theater and stuff like that. So some very like opposed to like Doom, which takes place on like space stations or in hell. You have this kind of these somewhat real world locations because the whole thing is the aliens are invading Earth and Duke Nukem is trying to stop them from doing so. There's a version called Lame Duke, which was released a year after the game came out, and that's kind of like a beta version of the game that had some different stuff. I think they released it without any kind of support. I had never heard of it until doing the research for this video, so I don't know if that's still a thing that you can download, but I'll have to look and see if that is still even a thing. The theme song is absolutely iconic. It's called Grab Bag, and it's actually been covered by a lot of various like musicians. And I actually like didn't know this, but apparently Megadeth recorded a version of the theme as well, which I ended up like listening to, and it's absolutely awesome. I'll leave a link in the description where you can check that out because it's definitely worth hearing. Because the theme song to this game it's up there with some like some of the classic kind of PC computer gaming like theme songs out there. There was various expansions and add-ons for it. So there was like the Plutonium pack, and that was also known as the Atomic Edition. There was like one called like an expansion pack called like Duke It Out in DC, which takes place in Washington DC. Just tons of different kinds of add-ons. A lot of these were done by third-party companies, and this was at a time where like let's say 3D Realms here or id Software would put out a game and then they would allow, I don't even know if they were even allowed to do this or if it was just kind of like they were unauthorized, but you could go to a store and just get a random like CD-ROM with a bunch of different Doom levels on it. Same thing with Duke Nukem 3D. I remember like seeing just kind of stuff that definitely looked like it was not done by 3D Realms or id Software, but just like it was just an interesting time where you could go in and buy expansions that weren't even like by the brand, that company, and who knows even how good those levels were. But with Duke Nukem 3D, there's a ton of different expansions. Like I said, there's like Plutonium Pack. There was like the Duke It Out in DC. There's one called like Life's a Beach kind of thing. And I think the Atomic Edition or the Megaton Edition on Steam has a bunch of those already kind of built into it. The game sold very well. Apparently sold 3.5 million copies, which is pretty good. It came out to pretty good reviews as well, like basically just saying it's a very competent first-person shooter. I had a ton of fun with it back in the day. I did load it up to kind of test out to see if it works. I haven't fully played for a while, but we're going to now get into our gameplay, and we're going to be using the Megaton edition that's available on Steam to do that. And we'll be right back with our gameplay. Alright, so we should be loading up here into Duke Nukem 3D. Let's hear that awesome theme song. So yeah, we'll do LA Meltdown.
Let's rock. Damn, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride. Oh.
Do I need health? I'll pick it up.
Where is it?
Oh, I'm out of ammo? Alright. Got the armor.
Get some.
There we go. You also gotta love all the iconic movie lines. Like there's like Evil Dead quotes and stuff like that from Duke. And these guys blink in and blink out. I'm assuming it's probably a secret of some kind. Maybe, maybe not. One of the favorite bits of the game is you can go up to the arcade here.
I needed that.
You got Duke Nukem here.
Don't have time to play with myself. Don't have time to play with myself. Don't have time to play with myself.
I gotta hit that switch.
Don't have time to play with myself.
Don't know if that works, but... Oh yeah, there's a code card somewhere I gotta get. Oh man. And then taking a ton of damage from that. there's the code card. The game was controversial at the time for their kind of depictions of that kind of stuff, but got the health pack. Oh, there's the atomic stuff. I don't know how you get up there. Just gotta jump up. Atomic health, which basically just gives you super high health. I think it was like a temporary thing as well, I thought. Don't know where I'm getting shot at. Oh, there he is. Oh, jeez. Another Evil Dead quote right there with the groovy. Alright, that's the level. Didn't do very well, but let's see here. I think I maybe mentioned this in my Doom video. They put the power times in there for kind of speed running. Power time, minute 45. 3D Realms time is 53 seconds. And there's still 15 enemies left. 8 secrets missed.
Let's rock.
Alright, let's do some cheat codes now. I think it was, we just type in these codes. Alright, got all the weapons now. You got the foot, you got your pistol, you got your shotgun. Absolutely love shotguns in first-person shooters. Always have. Got the triple gun there. Oh, that guy's still up? Oh, I got killed. Alright. So let's see, we got to the machine gun. Got the rocket launcher here. My aim is terrible, but oh, there's 2 of them. Alright, I think we got God mode in now. Let's see if I take any damage from this. Yeah, so I think we got the God mode cheat in. We got our rocket launcher. We already did that. Let's see what we have here. Pipe bombs, so you can basically just throw those and detonate them. So you throw and remote detonate. This is the shrink cannon. Oh no, that's the enlarging cannon. Missiles. So there is a other area over here we got to go to first. Oh yeah, these mines, yeah, so they basically will detonate when you, yeah, so you can place them, and they'll detonate when that line, when they walk across it like that. Awesome. Then they got the freeze gun here. So essentially you can freeze and then kick them. But yeah, just tons of cool weapons, really cool levels. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to survive that, so. I think that's a secret there. Usually the secrets are pretty easily hidden because they have that thing that kind of shows you like secret passages and stuff. Like the cracks in the wall kind of thing. But yeah, again, you have the foot, you can stomp people, you got pistols, you got the shotgun, machine gun, rockets, pipe bombs.
Let God sort him out.
There's a shrink cannon, I think, or the large cannon, the missile launchers, and then the trip mines. And finally, the freeze cannon. So yeah, just really awesome weapons. Amazing game. I think that is going to do it for this video. We'll be back again in a few days, starting up our second cycle in 1997. Really looking forward to that. But again, that's going to do it for now. So thanks again for watching. Take care and have a good one. See ya.